A reading from the Acts of the Apostles. One day Peter and John were going up to the temple at the hour of prayer, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and a man lame from birth was being carried in. People would lay him daily at the gate of the temple called the Beautiful Gate, so that he could ask for alms from those entering the temple. When he saw Peter and John about to go into the temple, he asked them for alms. Peter looked intently at him, as did John, and said, "Look at us." And the man fixed his attention on them, expecting to receive something from them. Peter said, "I have no silver or gold, but what I have I give you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, stand up and walk." And he took him by the right hand and raised him up, and immediately his feet and ankles were made strong. Jumping up, the man stood and began to walk, and he entered the temple with them, walking and leaping and praising God. All the people saw him walking and praising God, and they recognized him as the one who used to sit and ask for alms at the Beautiful Gate of the temple. And they were filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Let all who seek the Lord rejoice. Let all who seek the Lord rejoice. O give thanks to the Lord, call on his name. Make known his deeds among the peoples. Sing to him, sing praises to him. Tell of all his wonderful works. Let all who seek the Lord rejoice. Glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his presence continually. Let all who seek the Lord rejoice. O offspring of his servant Abraham, children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. Let all who seek the Lord rejoice. He is mindful of his covenant forever, of the word that he commanded for 1,000 generations, the covenant that he made with Abraham, his sworn promise to Isaac. Let all who seek the Lord rejoice. Alleluia. Alleluia. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Alleluia.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. On the first day of the week, 2 of the disciples were going to a village called Emmaus, about 11 kilometers from Jerusalem, and talking with each other about all these things that had happened. While they were talking and discussing, Jesus himself came near and went with them, but their eyes were kept from recognizing him. And Jesus said to them, "What are you discussing with each other while you walk along?" They stood still, looking sad. Then one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answered him, "Are you the only stranger in Jerusalem who does not know the things that have taken place there in these days?" Jesus asked them, "What things?" They replied, "The things about Jesus of Nazareth, who was a mighty prophet in deed and word before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and leaders handed him over to be condemned to death and crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one to redeem Israel. Yes, and besides all this, it is now the 3rd day since these things took place. Moreover, some women of our group astounded us. They were at the tomb early this morning, and when they did not find his body there, they came back and told us that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who said that he was alive. Some of those who were with us went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see him. Then Jesus said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are, and how slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have declared. Was it not necessary that the Messiah should suffer these things and then enter into his glory?" Then, beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them the things about himself in all the scriptures. As they came near the village to which they were going, he walked ahead as if he were going on. But they urged him strongly, saying, "Stay with us, because it is almost evening, and the day is now nearly over." So he went in to stay with them. When he was at table with them, he took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized Jesus, and he vanished from their sight. The 2 disciples said to each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he was talking to us on the road, while he was opening the scriptures to us?" That same hour they got up and returned to Jerusalem, and they found the 11 and their companions gathered there. These were saying, "The Lord has risen indeed, and he has appeared to Simon." Then the 2 disciples told what had happened on the road, and how the Lord had been made known to them in the breaking of the bread. The Gospel of the Lord. What I'm struck with in this gospel is that hospitality that Middle Eastern people are known for to this day. That these disciples who are going to their home in Emmaus, and they encounter a stranger on the road. They walk with him for a while. When he keeps going on from Emmaus, when they are about to go into their homes, they invite him in. They invite him in and sit down and have a meal with him. It isn't just, "I'll come in and just get get some refreshment, just get a glass of water, and then you can head out on your way." They intended for him to stay there that evening, that whole night, not just having him over for supper, but that hospitality would include giving him a place to sleep overnight. That level of hospitality enables them to actually recognize Jesus. It's that welcoming them into their home and breaking bread with him. That's where they recognize Jesus. And in this time of this pandemic, it seems to me that we need to find, it doesn't mean that we are not that we should let go of the idea of hospitality, that we need to have some of that same attitude of hospitality, even if it's in new and different ways for us in this time of this pandemic. We can't invite people into our homes for dinner the way we might have in the past, but we still need to be hospitable. We still need to reach out and to welcome people in some way. Whether it's all those conversations, hopefully some of us are now having with our neighbors from a distance, but conversations that we didn't have before, because we'd get in our cars and go off to work and come back, and unless the neighbors had kids the same age as ours, we never really talked to them other than to say hello. But now maybe we can have a more significant conversation with them, even if it's from a bit of a distance, and actually get to know a little bit about them, to know something of their lives and what they're experiencing through this. Maybe it's a phone call. Not last week or a week or two ago, I can't remember now exactly. Someone I know is asking me about reaching out to a friend I hadn't seen hadn't talked to in a number of years. It had ended, rather acrimoniously a few years back, and this person was asking, "Well, I'm wondering if I should reach out," and I said, "Well, why not? Just say, you don't have to delve back into the past. You don't have to, reopen the wounds or something, and you don't have to actually, seek forgiveness or offer forgiveness at that point. Maybe it's just a call to say, "Hey, I was just thinking about you. Hopefully, you're doing well. I just want to make sure that you're okay and your loved ones are okay." Maybe it's just a call like that to somebody who we haven't spoken to in a while, where we can offer that hospitality, where hopefully at some point in these conversations we can recognize Christ. We may not be able to break bread with people, but we can still offer ourselves a bit of our care and concern to the people around us. We can still do that, and we can still recognize Christ in those moments.